So today we're picking up t-shirts for the campaign. It's a pretty big day because it's the first ever expense for the campaign that we've made. We bought 100 t-shirts in various sizes. They're all green and they say Green Party on the front. Let's go pick up some shirts. So right now I'm headed to Hard Boiled Ink, which is a custom t-shirt company in Kensington Market, a neighborhood here in Toronto. When picking a t-shirt company to do our t-shirts, we wanted to make sure that it was local. We wanted to save also on the shipping costs. So that's why I'm picking them up right now. But you can always get t-shirts wherever you want, online or wherever, especially during the pandemic with so many small businesses being impacted, and unfortunately, a lot of them are not doing so well. It just made sense to try and support a company that was right here in Toronto. That's a big box. I never thought that my first unboxing video would be for Green Party of Canada t-shirts, but I also never thought I would run for office. So let's take a look at what we got inside, shall we? Whoa. We are in my... Now that is green. Here they are. Here are the shirts, and they're all their glory. I'm pretty excited. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but this is kind of the first big purchase of the campaign. And I thought I would actually take a moment to break down what are the things that you buy in a campaign, how much can you spend, and what does it all cost? When people think of running election campaigns, I know when I was first looking into running, I immediately thought of the States, where you hear about millions and millions of dollars to run a campaign. Well, we're not in the States. Actually, there are campaign limits in Canada with how much money you can raise and spend during a campaign. The limit is typically around $100,000. And there are actually limits on what people can donate to you. For example, an individual can donate up to $1,600 to a campaign. You can't actually raise that much money from, let's say, corporate donations or from super PACs like they do in the States. In fact, those don't really exist here. What you can do, however, is raise enough money to run a winning campaign. And in order to do so, you need a budget. Now, this is the budget that I came up with after talking to many people who have done this before and them sharing graciously the budgets of the campaigns that they ran. But in general, for a budget, you kind of want three main things. The three things are, number one, items or actual things. Number two, you want people. You want to spend money on your people. And last but not least, you want to spend money on services. So what do I mean by that? Well, when it comes to items, there are lots of things that you're going to need to buy. T-shirts are one of them. But broadly, all of the things that you want to buy should serve one purpose and one purpose only: getting your name out there and getting brand recognition, especially to your constituents. Anything that you buy that should be a thing, you need to ask yourself, how will this item help me tell people my message? How will this item help people get to know me? T-shirts are a great example because they help to bring unity to your team. Your volunteers can have t-shirts, and when you're out there in the wild, campaigning or canvassing or doing park cleanups, because we are the Green Party after all, it's important that we should be able to have some sort of identity, brand identity, and t-shirts help to do that. Beyond t-shirts, the next couple of things that I think you absolutely will need are lawn signs and mailers. Lawn signs are really important for your campaign because, especially in the riding or the neighborhood that you're in, people need to be reminded, and if they get to see your campaign and your colors and your sign out on the lawn, and they see all the different people who have that there, they may be persuaded to think twice or take a look or be more curious about it. It really is all about how many times can you get in front of people's eyes. How can people think about the Green Party? And it's really important that you think strategically about where you put those lawn signs. The second thing is mailers. Now, I know everyone hates getting junk mail. I totally get it. It sucks. And being the Green Party, it actually costs a little bit more because we want to make sure that we are using recycled materials and we're going through a vendor that is as sustainable as possible. The importance of having mailers is really to get your message across so that people, again, know what you're about and, more importantly, understand who you are and when to vote. The number one advice that I've gotten throughout this entire process is just have three things: your name, your party, and the date of the election. In fact, when you start going door to door and you start talking to people, those are the three things that you need to be able to tell them. What's your name? Who are you running for? And when is the election? So it's really important to set aside money for that as well. The next thing that you're going to need to set budget aside for is people. Now, when I say people, I mean, of course, some salaries and honorariums for those, especially, for example, a campaign manager who may be working full-time on your campaign. But also, you want to be able to keep your volunteers fed and happy, provide them snacks and things like that if you end up doing a campaign where you're actually at an office. So keeping people happy is really important as well. And when you think about an office space, you have to think about rent, access to internet and telecom, office supplies. All of that kind of stuff has to be considered as well. Especially for a pandemic election, I don't know if we're going to need an office, but if the election is in the fall or something like that, and we have the opportunity to think about actually using an office, especially in the summertime, I'd love to have one. I'd love to actually have a physical space where volunteers can come. We can, assign places to canvass, talk, chat, meet constituents from the riding, and, just have a little space of our own. And then finally, the thing that you're going to want to get are services. And when I say services, this means everything from your video and photography that you're going to need to get, or the website that you're going to need to have. Especially during a pandemic election, digital marketing and everything that you do online is so important. So what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to show you what I mean in terms of a budget. This is a budget that I created kind of for the campaign. So what you see on the screen here is a draft budget for the campaign. There are three columns: low, medium, and high. I wanted to make three different scenarios where we could either raise a lot of money, an okay amount of money, or no money at all, depending on what we kind of already have in the bank. There are different categories here as well: advertising, office, digital tools, fees, volunteer expenses, and salaries / honoraria. When we sum it all together, we see that the low budget is around $10,000, the medium budget is around $32,000, and the high budget is around $83,000. Most of the money is going to go to advertising. Really, as I said, getting your name out there so people know who you are. Other big campaigns like the Liberals or the Conservatives will spend all the money up to the limit, $100,000 or more, and they'll do a lot of things in advertising, local advertising as well as national advertising, and it all helps. But for the Green Party, we're really kind of doing this from the bottom up. So hopefully that gives you a sense of what it takes to actually run a campaign and what these expenses go to. We'll see how much I'm actually able to raise and how much I get to do. But this is, as far as I know, a good enough idea of what to expect. So I hope you found this information interesting. I know I had a lot of fun going and picking up these shirts. We finally actually have something, the first purchase of the campaign. It's a milestone. I know it doesn't seem like much. 100 shirts isn't that many, and hopefully we have way more volunteers and we have to buy more shirts. Seeing myself on the screen, seeing myself in this video, wearing this shirt, it just makes this even more real for me. I want to thank Hard Boiled Ink for being so quick and so responsive and just awesome with making the shirts. They're great. I highly recommend them. I'll put a link in the description below for where you can find them if you need custom t-shirts in Toronto. And beyond that, again, if you find this interesting and you want to see me be elected to Parliament, if you want to see me run a fun and winning campaign and hopefully raise more money so I can do a little bit more on the higher end of the spectrum of a budget rather than the lower end, then please consider donating if you're a Canadian citizen. I'll leave the link to my website and the donate button below also. It's been a lot of fun. I can't wait to go canvassing in these shirts, to take pictures in these shirts, to go meet up with volunteers in these shirts. I'm just really pumped. Okay, have a great day. Talk to you later.